Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm gonna be experimenting with half tracks, which are vehicles that are half track and half wheels. And I'm gonna build two. I want to build like a kind of normal half track, which is like a truck, as far as I'm aware. But I also want to try to build a motorcycle feel of a half track. So like one wheel in the front. It's going to be kind of like a trike, I guess, because there's going to be two tracks in the back, you know, to help it balance, but just with one wheel in the front. So I think that'd be kind of cool. And, you know, onward goes the tank track experiments. Tank tracks are very versatile. I mean, this right here is one of my favorite builds that I've built with them so far. But who knows, maybe today we'll have another favorite build. All right, so I think I want to start with the motorcycle one because I think it's going to be quicker because it should be smaller. I'm going to use the Lynx tracks and a motorcycle seat as well. So we'll have the Lynx tracks in the back, kind of like this, I suppose. Balance might be an issue without any type of like gyro stabilization, but we'll see. I'm gonna try it without gyros at first, but just to make it function the way I want it to, it's probably gonna be likely to tip over a lot. All right, so then, oh, this might be a problem. Our only like good wheels, I think, are too wide, but I want one. I mean, I guess this says average grip on all surfaces. This also says average grip on all surfaces, but I don't think these work well on like snow. You know what? Let's do a quick test. I'm gonna spawn in this car. Obviously, these are not good wheels for the snow, as you can see. So let's swap out these wheels for average grip wheels. Uh-oh. You know, actually, this might be this actually isn't bad. I can turn. I think this is just more the snow resistance. I think the tank tracks, making the half track, I think, is going to be what solves that problem. But I can at least turn with these. Do the motorcycle wheels feel any different? No, they don't. Also, this vehicle is, like, designed to limit my speed, so I don't even know if that's... I just wanted something with four wheels. I don't have a lot of, like, easily accessible builds that are just a car with four wheels. I need to have, like, a basic car. I guess I could have went into the templates, huh? Nope. Nope. There's no basic car. They're all tanks. All right, well, let's just hope. All right, I feel like this layout right here, as far as the wheelbase goes, should the seat be higher up? This feels... I don't know. This feels like it could be fine. All right, I don't know if this wheel needs suspension, but it does need steering. I always forgot how awkward it is to try to build a central wheel up in the front. All right, I'm gonna go with that. It's got steering. Should be good enough. All right, we need engines. This is also the awkward thing about having a motorcycle seat, is the engines are not centered unless... I guess we go on the sides of the center. Should we go like in? It's a weird attachment. You know, I guess I can make this kind of work. Is two engines enough? I mean, it's a pretty small vehicle. Should be a decent amount of horsepower. I mean, I think I got something. The front just looks weird right now. I think I need a little bit extra on the front. Just like, I don't know, something like this. Even though I kind of already got the windshield thing there, this feels like it belongs better. All right, yeah, this is not... Why am I screeching? Oh my goodness. The front wheel doesn't make sense. Because, like, the tracks stay on top of the snow, but the front wheel is just in the snow because it doesn't have the same interaction. This is weird. Hold on, let's go... on not snow for now. Whoa, okay, this is a little dangerous. But it's actually fine. I mean, my steering is pretty bad. Here, let's go down here. This is not snow or ice. This is ground. Okay, okay, sometimes the steering is a lot, sometimes it's not. I mean, this doesn't feel bad on normal ground, actually. But when we get into snow, we run into this problem. The tracks are too good at staying on top of the snow, but the wheels are not. So I feel like there's gonna be it's just gonna be a weird thing with half tracks in the snow in general. Oh, I can't even steer on the ice, which makes sense. But yeah, I think that I feel like that has to be an issue with half tracks in general, is the tank tracks are gonna stay on top of the snow, but the wheels aren't. So you're gonna, if the snow is deep, you're gonna be off kilter, right? Ah! It's so bad in the snow. What can I possibly do about the snow? Unless it's a ski. Perhaps skis is the answer. Okay, so then this is actually an easier attachment. Half track with skis in the front. That actually might need to be what happened even with the truck version. I don't know. So we need, wait, ski, where's their skis? Ski attaches. You want it to be level with those. Okay, cool. Ski attaches at the top. That looks weird, having just a single bar going down like that. But I mean, that looks so weird. No, you know what? Hold on. We need that. I don't know yet. I don't know if I like that. It kind of feels like it needs to split. I don't know why, but it does feel like it needs to split into 2 bars. It doesn't make sense. Functionally, it doesn't make sense. But I do feel like aesthetically, it's gonna look more natural. For whatever reason, I do feel like the ski needs to stick out further. So, like, attaching here doesn't look natural either. So I kind of like either that or that. I'm gonna go with that. All right, now we should be able to turn on ice. Yeah. Yeah, half track. Woo! Okay, we actually kind of resist flipping over, which is unexpected. All right, so now we should actually be more stable on snow. Okay, the transition onto snow is one thing, but once we're on the snow, we got to avoid the tracks. But this feels okay. The tipping over, it becomes an issue on the snow. Yeah, that's a big issue. It's because the skis, they catch their edges a lot, so they provide a lot of sideways resistance once they're turning. But other than that, it's looking and driving as expected or wanted. I almost feel like this is too much engine power. Let's just remove that engine for now. This honestly feels more reasonable. You know what? Maybe even we don't have dragon engines. This will actually fit better if I don't have dragon engines. If I use bulldogs, I'll just use like 3 bulldogs. Like 1, 2, 3. And then we gotta fill in the rest. How's this feel? Now this feels natural. You know, sometimes too much speed is a bad thing. Yeah, I'm liking how this feels. If I turn too sharp though, I will flip over. All right, here we go. Turn it sharp. Yeah, see, that's the only problem. But I feel like that is also realistic. Okay, well that I feel like shouldn't have flipped over. It's just because the ground was angled. I could try adding... Where's my center of mass? I could try adding weight down. Oh yeah, see, my center of mass is a little high. So I'm going to add a weight right here. Nah, we still flip over. All right, I think the only other reasonable solution... I mean... not the most reasonable, but it is a solution. We'll just add this gyro is just going to add some resistance. It's not going to be like a stabilization gyro. It is going to be a steering gyro though, that allows me to lean into the turns a little bit better. Yeah, so you can see it leans me a little bit. So now when I turn to the right, I don't flip over to the left. That actually feels good. That's actually, I don't think this is the opposite of unreasonable. I think this is very reasonable, because I think this adds an element of realism to like turning on a Snowcycle. There we go. I'm coining that. If this is not a motorcycle, this is a Snowcycle. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's realistic. I feel like that was a realistic fall. I mean, I guess a Snowcycle would kind of be a snowmobile. But this isn't a snowmobile. This is distinctly not a snowmobile. A snowmobile is almost the opposite of this. A snowmobile has 1 track in the back and 2 skis in the front. This has 2 tracks in the back and 1 ski in the front, making it more trike-like, and therefore I call this the Snowcycle. Hey, that was actually not bad. And I think this thing is actually good. I'm actually happy with this. I think for a half-track motorcycle vibe, this thing is feeling great now. The turning actually feels good. The only way to mess it up is by turning too sharp in one direction and immediately changing direction, because then you're like leaning into the force immediately. I feel like this could use some type of little aesthetic change in the back. Like just something as simple as that. I think that actually makes a huge difference. Yeah, that makes a huge difference aesthetically. It looked a little weird. Now it doesn't look quite as a little weird. All right, it's beautiful. Now we are halfway through our half-track builds. Snowcycle success. Let me paint this thing a little bit though. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of funny having like a windshield in front of my windshield. Woo! Oh, did you see that landing? That was unexpectedly smooth. We landed on the downslope of that rock. All right, this is awesome. I love this thing now. Hey, we avoided tipping over. Okay, I'm happy. Good performance. All right, now a truck half truck with tracks. So I'm gonna go with monster truck wheels as my primary, as my front wheels. So we got these things going on. It's probably gonna be like that for a wheelbase. And I think that warrants, yeah, that definitely warrants the big old tracks. So now I guess because the wheels are gonna be sinking down a little bit more, maybe I should just have them a block lower. Or are we gonna end up converting these into skis as well? I don't know, we'll find out. And do the wheels, is the wheelbase like different than the track base? Or are they gonna be the same width? This is probably good. Do my wheels get suspension? They probably should get suspension. This is gonna be big. I was gonna put a bunch of the engines back here because I have space, but thinking about weight distribution, I do think the front is actually going to be the better option. All right, let's test right now. This. Oh, I don't have steering. All right. Now this isn't feeling too bad. The steering isn't that great. Like you can definitely feel that we're slipping on snow a little bit. Oh, look at the particles. I think we're reaching the ground underneath with our wheels. The tank track, you know what's actually kind of interesting? This actually doesn't tilt us as much. Wait, are my wheels? My wheels are technically one block lower, but they're also compressed. The suspension is completely compressed, so they're actually on the same level, I think. If I did stiffer suspension, there, now we're a little bit leaning backwards. But because my wheels create such a deep groove in the snow and they're aligned with my tracks as opposed to the snowmobile, I mean the Snowcycle, it actually doesn't make me off kilter like the Snowcycle did. Because the tracks go in my tracks. It's actually really satisfying. I like this. All right, I do feel like I could use more power though, surprisingly. All right, I think for the sake of aesthetics, I'm gonna have to just hide my seat in this one. So we're just gonna have, or not hide my seat, but just have like a seat like this. Yeah, this could work. And not that it particularly matters, but right now I am not using any type of visual reference. I am just going based off of what's in my head. This might actually call for some of these wheel wells. All right, this is definitely turning out to be a much bigger build than I was anticipating. Man, even the tracks I feel like need to be bigger at this point, like taller, you know? They're kind of buried in the snow. I guess it's because they're not, like we're just creating these grooves that they just sit in. I need to see it on not snow. Yeah, all right, now that looks more reasonable, okay. All right, we're getting somewhere, I think. All right, I'm starting to get the structure down. This is a lot of space. All right, let me just start feeling this thing out. All right, it's looking okay. The lights in the front look a little small. Maybe I could add like a series of them inside. Could look a little bit more natural like that. Okay, there we go. We got some big old exhaust coming off of this thing. This thing's starting to come together. Look at this. This is nice. Okay. All right, I was a little overwhelmed at first, but now I'm starting to feel whelmed. Well, I guess there should be a window back here, huh? All right, added some mirror aesthetics. So we got a rear view mirror. And we've also got these side view mirrors with like the wide angle circular one down the bottom. I don't know what I'm doing with the back here. I feel like I just gotta like close it up. I was like, the question is, do I keep it like a open bed or do I kind of give it like an enclosed thing? I don't know what kind of vibe I'm going for, really. No, I think this is starting to look pretty cool. Oh, you know, I do see one thing it's missing is a back bumper. All right, cool. I think that kind of brings it together. All right, let's paint this thing up. This has to be like a different color. All right, I did some painting. I think this thing is starting to look good. All right. This thing's pretty cool. We got a half track here. All right, let's take it on the snow, see how it feels. It's gonna be, oh my goodness. It just, the snow doesn't even lift it whatsoever. These wheels just go right through the snow. Which then also makes the tracks, like, they don't help that much as far as the snow goes. I mean, they're probably giving us a lot more acceleration grip and, like, changing our directions. Because I do think we would be sliding a little bit more if it wasn't for the tracks. But this is a very satisfying build to drive through the snow just because of how deep it carves. Does this thing need weapons? I didn't give my my Snowcycle any weapons. But I feel like this could look pretty cool with like just a side. Oh, you know what this needs actually? This needs top mounted lights as well. Yeah. Maybe a little bit less. 4 or 6. Let's go with 6. You know, this thing gives me Twisted Metal vibes. I feel like maybe there already is one, but I feel like Twisted Metal needs a half-track character. I feel like there has been a half-track character. It seems right. But yeah, this is giving me Twisted Metal vibes so much. Can I go faster? Do I have any room for faster? I guess I could like... Yeah, just doubled my power output. There we go, a little bit faster. Oh yeah, this is cool. Yeah. All right, man, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with how this thing has turned out. This is a pretty cool vehicle. I need to try a hill climb test with this thing, because I think for this at least, with the big wheels and the big tracks, I think that's just what, like, it's built for that kind of traction, you know? It does not steer the sharp. You can just see how much my wheels are steering, and the tracks are just kind of pushing it through the snow. It does steer a little bit, but not as good as the wheels make you think it should. But let's see at least how much power does this thing have on steep snow. The track should take most of the work here. They should take most of the pushing load. I mean, this is feeling solid so far. I'm hardly slowing down on these steep hills. I feel like I could almost fit my my Snowcycle in the back of this thing. I should see if it fits. I think it's probably going to be a little bit too long though. All right, here we go. There's a steep hill right here. Oh yeah, this thing... okay, we had a little bit of trouble there. We did have a little bit of trouble there. All right, this is going to be pushing it here, I think. Oh, we're slowing down a lot. Oh, we may have met our match right here. Dang. I actually thought I was going to scale the whole mountain. What if I go backwards? There we go. All right, reverse direction. Oh, I'm having a lot of trouble reversing direction. This is not going any better. No. It doesn't make sense with this build that reverse would go better. All my weight's in the front. So I feel like... Actually, I think having more weight on the track should technically be better. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to add some weight to the back of this thing. If I add a weight to the back, is that just going to be harder to pull that weight up the hill? Or is it going to give my tracks more traction? Let's find out. All right, I just added a whole bunch of weight directly to the back. So does that give my tracks the ability to push me better? Hey, we're so close. Oh, we're so close. Oh, we did it. Okay. Okay. I actually didn't expect that to work. Because, you know, we're heavier now, so it's going to be more mass to try to push uphill. But it does give the tracks a little bit more traction. Because the front wheels, all the weights, all of my engines are up front, more weights in the front, which does make my steering more stable. But it just doesn't give the back tracks enough ground pressure to really push us up the hill. But this is way, look at this. This is like almost vertical. That's way too much. Oh, we flipped over. We actually managed to flip. Ow. All right. Well, whee! Well, it goes down, no problem. That was actually a nice landing. Holy cow. I mean, we did take a little bit of damage, but all things considered, wow! This thing is a tank. I mean, it's kind of like a half tank with the half tracks, you know? Half tank, half truck. All right, this thing's fun. I mean, it's weird. It's like slow and a little bit clunky, but it's just so sturdy and it looks so good and it makes big trails in the snow and it's satisfying and it just makes it fun, you know? Oh yeah, I wanted to see how big is my Snowcycle half track. Oh my goodness, it was so close. It was so close. If I stick the ski through the window, I can... Ready for this? It's actually working. We just gotta stick the ski through the window is all. That's not dangerous at all. We get in a car accident. Just this spear in the back of my head. Oh my goodness. This is ridiculous. I can actually fit my first half track into the back of this half track. That's awesome. All right, well, that was a fun half track experiment. If you guys want to see some more interesting stuff in Trailmakers, let me know if you have any ideas down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.